Hi, everybody. I want to talk about Donald Trump again. I made a video last night how he secretly wants Hillary to win. And of course, there's more evidence of that today on the internet. One of the articles I want to show you is USA Today. Let me bring it up, um, where it says Trump's attacking Kasich and Cruz. And of course, this is July 4th, 2016. I thought the primaries were long since over with. Why is Donald Trump still going after adversaries that are no longer um, people that he's going to have to face in the future? So why is he doing this? And nobody, I mean, it's the only thing you can possibly say is let me go to drudge.com because they had an article about him actually thinking that um, Trump could be loony, crazy. But he's not crazy and he's not loony. He's actually got a motive. Here it is. Where's that at? Right here, the Weekly Standard. Talks about Donald Trump going after Ted Cruz's dad, who's Rafael Cruz. And actually, Rafael Cruz has supposedly been, has a picture of him in the Inquirer that with Lee Harvey Oswald. And Trump is trying to connect these two up, which is crazy. I mean, it's just crazy, 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 crazy stuff. And the only thing you can really say about this is that if he's doing this, then he's not focusing on what is really at issue here, which is a general primary election or general election, and that he doesn't really want to win. And I kind of think that makes sense. And the reason I don't think he really wants to win is because everybody's got this narrative that Trump is this guy who's got a lot of money, who decided to leave his business and do the patriotic thing and go and run for president because the system was so bad that if he didn't come in and help it out, that nobody was ever going to do it. And he was willing to sacrifice and make do that. I mean, make that sacrifice to go and run for president and to save the American people. But the only problem with that is I don't think Trump has ever really separated himself from his businesses. And what Trump really is Trump is a brand more than he is anything else. There's an article that's really interesting. It's about the Trump versus Trump inside Toronto 5-star tower struggle. And there he is right there. But a little bit, I want to bring this stuff down at the bottom a little bit. And this is really, literally who Trump is. Trump is a brand. Trump is a name. And when everybody says Trump is so boisterous and so arrogant and so inflated and so full of himself, it's not really him speaking, it's his brand speaking. The brand that he projects is a brand of excellence, of luxury, of everybody bowing down to Trump being exalted, Trump being the best. If you stay at a Trump hotel, you're staying at the very best. If you get a Trump merchandise, you're getting the very best. You're getting the top. And that's what he projects and portrays all the time. That is why when he's in these presidential elections, he doesn't care what he says, or these debates, he doesn't care, because he's not talking as Donald Trump, the candidate. He's talking as Donald Trump, the brand. And he projects himself as the excellence who can say anything, do anything, and can never be challenged, because he is the highest brand ever. You know, he is the top of the line. He is the luxury of the luxury, the primo of the primo, the top of the top, the excellence, the excellence. That's who Donald Trump is, and that's who he always is, no matter if he's running for president or if he's before he ran for president. That's who he is. This guy is about his brand. That's all he's about. And actually, that's a pretty smart thing to do. I think a long time ago, he figured out the brick and mortar business was a lot harder than building up a name that he could sell. And that's what he sells. I mean, he always talks about how wealthy he is. And there's, when people try to put it together as far as what he owns and what he doesn't own, it's always pretty hard to kind of determine how much money he's worth. But Trump always throws in that his name is worth X amount of dollars. And actually, he's pretty. That's actually very correct that his name is worth a lot of money, because he puts his name on buildings, golf courses, and all the other stuff that they build, and he licenses or has franchises therefore, whenever his name is in something, it's very valuable because people see it as the top, very most luxurious, the best that you can have. So that's why he does this. And this is why I think he's running for president. And this is why I think that he's not really wanting to win, because he doesn't really care about it as much as he cares about who he is and his name and his brand. There's two narratives going on here that are really, to me, disgusting and that everybody's going along with, including all the news media. The first is that, Trump is for the little guy. I mean, if Trump is for the little guy, he sure hasn't been doing that for very long. I mean, maybe he did have a change of heart, and all of a sudden he has become somebody that's for the little guy. But he's got a lot of lawsuits with a lot of people. For instance, it's Trump University and all these other things where there's a lot of people with that didn't have a lot of money that invested in his courses that weren't happy, that I don't think he really wants to give the money back to, or if he does, he doesn't. He's trying to do it in such a way that isn't just like refunds. So I think there is definitely a problem with that. And the other problem is this whole thing with Hillary Clinton's emails. I mean, anybody that bought into that really, was insincere as far as I'm concerned, because nobody in their wildest dreams would ever believe that Hillary Clinton was going to get in trouble for some emails. I mean, that was just, I mean, I heard Sean Hannity and these people on Fox talking about, oh, Hillary's going to prison, the FBI's after her, they're going to arrest her, all this garbage. I mean, it's just a bunch of crap. And the other thing that's going on is that, they think this is actually going to turn into something. I mean, they were all sitting there waiting for the FBI to arrest Hillary any day. That was the biggest bunch of garbage I'd ever heard. There's a guy, and I think he's deceased. His name is Larry Nichols. And he followed the Clintons all the way through the years that Bill Clinton was governor of Arkansas. And he was like their adversary. He was somebody that was very anti-Clinton. And he said, I watched a video one time about him, and like I say, I think he's deceased. But he talked about how if Hillary ever went for president, she'd have to run with some sort of negativeness or some sort of scandal going on, because the way people would win the presidency wouldn't be the front runner, but they'd have to be some sort of kind of like somebody that came out of, some scandal or something. Like it was almost like you had to be running from behind, running with the scandal, running with some sort of problem in order for you to, the mental aspect of the people thinking you weren't going to win because you had something. And then all of a sudden you come out of that scandal, you came out of that problem, you came out of that whatever problem it was, and you emerged victorious. And then all of a sudden people accepted you, and I think that's what this is all about. It's she was supposed to have a problem. She overcame the problem, and now she's going to be the person that is best suited for, winning the presidency. I tell you, well, I don't know who's the third party, if there is a third party running right now. I think I heard a few names. I can't remember, but it sure would be a nice time for a third party. But anyway, as far as Trump's concerned, this guy's running for his brand. He's not separated, never did separate himself from his brand. His brand is who he is. That's more important than anything. You don't have to dig too deep into the internet to follow him about that. I don't think when he decided to run for president, he left his businesses behind and decided to venture into politics just to help the American people. I think at the end of the day, if he loses and he builds his brand bigger than ever, which I think he will, that's exactly what he decided to do. That's exactly what he chose to do, and I think that's exactly what he's intending to do. And that's the best case scenario for him, because at the end of the day, the brand gets built bigger. He never backs down. He never tries to build any kind of unity or anything like that. He always has separated himself. He's always been who he is, and who he is uncompromising and unrelentless. And the brand is all about him, and the brand is bigger than him. And that's what he's about. And that's why he's not wanting to get along with Cruz right now. That's why he's not wanting to back down to the GOP, because he's bigger than all of them. And that's why he will lose this election. And that's why it's disingenuous for him to think that, for the American people to believe in this guy, because he is bigger. He thinks he is, he is bigger. The brand is bigger than he is. And right now it's the brand that I think that is his primary concern. So anyway, that's all I got to say. I appreciate you listening. I thank you very much.